Hey, it's Brent Austin from Houston. Look at the interest rate, 6.37. A little bit of a sigh of relief, getting our head back above water. Last week we hit 6.46. Guys, I was feeling really optimistic back in on Thursday, February 26th. We dropped below 6% and then we just came back up, started shooting back up, and thankfully rates have dropped. So hopefully we see a little bit of activity. Let's look at the data. Okay, so we're going to start with days on market. Right now, we're starting April off with 16 days on market. We're down from February. This is for single family houses. We were 65 days on the market. March was 63 days on the market. And April, things are speeding up. So hopefully we get back to these 50s and 40s as we go into the spring. But if you look at month over month, we're still trending about a week slower than we were this time last year. Let's look at this. This is a fun one. This is original price versus the sales price. This is starting out as an improvement right now. In February, average list price of homes were 486, selling for 416. That's a 14% difference from the time they are listed and then the time they are sold. Not much changed. In March, they did list them a little high, a little too high. Obviously, we want these properties to sell. We should be listing these a little bit lower, but thankfully, right now, April average sales prices are a little bit higher. Let's look at this. This is important because it shows us, it answers this question: do overpriced homes sell for more money? Do you get more money for your house if you list it for more? And we know that it's usually not true. It's not always not true, but it's always sometimes true. It's always usually mostly true. There you go. So look, 0 to 30 days. If house sold in less than 30 days, in March, it sold for $550, for $450,000. Average sales price of a house that sold in the second month sold for $370. Guys, that's an $80,000 difference between a house that sells. And what sells houses? Well, it's having a great agent. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. It's not the agent. It is certainly, it's the price. The price is going to sell the house. So having a good agent is just par for the course. If you have a bad agent, that's going to really mess things up. But look, 450 to 370. It dropped even more in the third month. Same thing for April. Now, month 4, month 5, we do tend to see an improvement, but you just never get that opportunity. Also, most of these houses are taking 6 to 12 months. Is actually higher valued homes. They're more on the luxury side, so those do take a little more time. So keep that in mind. So let's look at months of inventory. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger because I want you to really be able to see this. But this basically means for every 6 houses that were active on the market in the month of March, 1 of them sold. So it's taken 6 months to sell a house, or in 1 month, 1 house out of every 6.1 homes sells. Let's look at new, active, and sold. In March, we had 16,000. So we had another spike in inventory that brought us up to 46,479 active listings on the market. It's going higher. April is higher. We're going to hit 48. We may hit 49. Hopefully we don't hit 50,000. We hit 40,000 for the first time in May. We hit 30,000 for the first time in May of 2024. That's when I started tracking these numbers. Out of 46,000 units that were on the market, single-family homes, only 7,600. So only 16% of properties are selling. 16% of properties are selling in any given month. That's ridiculous. Part of the challenge that we're dealing with is these guys. This is new construction. New construction is a challenge because right now it's marking in March 46%. The average is about 30% of all inventory. One below. About 30% of all inventory is brand new constructions. It's hard to compete with a brand new house, especially in a buyer's market. They have 2 things that resales don't have. Number one, they usually have their own financing, and so the interest rates are lower. And so that gives them an edge on the competition. The second advantage is it doesn't need work. It doesn't need updates. It doesn't need new carpet and new counters and a new AC and a new roof. It doesn't need all that. So what does that mean if you're thinking about reselling your house? That means you're competing with new construction. You want your things to be as nice as possible. The message that needs to be received by everybody, whether or not you need to sell a house ever. Take care of your house. Keep it looking nice and new, and it will be easier to sell, especially when every house has 6 other houses that they're competing against, right? So here's volume. Volume's up. We're seeing a spike in activity. In fact, our volume in March was more over last year. So there is, even though the units are down, average price, there's more movement on the luxury side. That's not just a real estate thing. We're seeing more money being spent on nicer things, but it's like the middle and the lower end stuff that's really struggling right now. So interesting time. We're seeing a spike in expireds, just people giving up. It's too hard to sell a house. So 14,632 people gave up. They decided not to renew with their agent. Some of them may have, but yeah. So that's what's going on in the market. So I think that things are a little tough right now, tougher than I would like them to be. And I'm sure they're tougher than you would like. But if you are in a position to buy real estate, you should stink and do it right now. Because when a seller has a house that's been on the market for 6 months and it's not selling and they need to sell, they're starting to get more motivated. Sellers are starting to become more motivated, and it's a good time to negotiate. So if you're thinking about selling, you really want to pay attention to this, because in order to stick out, first of all, you have to be priced right, but also condition and quality of the house matters, because you're competing with a lot of brand new inventory right now. So that's it for the market. I am your friend Austin from Houston. Today is April 9th. We're getting rocking and rolling. Don't forget, we have our happy hour on Thursday, the 16th. Everybody's invited. We're going to record a live version of our podcast. So come out to that. Leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. Thank you.